Également avec nous les Belges, donc les Belges qui vont essayer de pousser un petit peu leur équipe, l'équipe de Belgique qui est parmi nous également.
In the open doubles competition here in Nantes, France, as the International Table Soccer Federation is presenting the World Championships of Table Soccer. I'm Jim Stevens for Kazoom Productions. Happy to be here to bring you all the excitement of a semifinal match in the doubles category. This is a multi-table format, of course, with each team selecting their home table. There are 5 different types of sanctioned tables, and there you see the Austrian team. That's Kevin HUNDSTORFER, the young man, in the forward position. That's Anton SKOK at goal, representing Austria. Kevin HUNDSTORFER, certainly one of the big stars, one of the big young stars, barely 20 years old in the world of table soccer. Anton SKOK, his partner, a veteran. And there's the great one, Frédéric Collignon in the forward position, the greatest player in the history of the sport, out of Belgium, and his partner, Tom van de Carter. So it's Belgium versus Austria. The winner will advance to the doubles final here at the ITSF Table Soccer World Championships. Referees for the match, Tom Yor and Dan Barber. We are going to start on the home table of the Austrians, and that's the Garlando table. There are 5 different sanctioned tables, as we mentioned. The Garlando table, the Bonzini table. The Garlando is made in Italy. A Bonzini table, a French table. There's a German table known as the Leonhardt, a Chinese table, the Fireball, and another Italian table, the Ribeiro Sport. Those are your 5 official tables with the International Table Soccer Federation. There are world championships held on each of those table styles, and it's kind of like tennis, where you'll have a clay court, a grass court, a cement court. Each table is a little bit different, and you'll have your strong players who are certainly stronger on their individual tables, and then you'll have that guy who's great on every table. That's Frédéric Collignon, the legend, as we look at it once again as he pins it, brings it to the near side. It's all about ball control. It's all about passing in the sport of table soccer. You'll see the ball starting in the center on the 5-man rod. This is HUNDSTORFER. His pass attempt, as he's trying to pass it to his 3-rod, is intercepted and stolen away by Frédéric Collignon. Collignon quickly through the lane. Remember, this is the home table of Kevin HUNDSTORFER and Anton SKOK, the Austrians. Will play the first game on the Garlando, the second on the Leonhardt, which is the Belgian home table. Back to the Garlando table as we look again at Collignon really finding that tight hold of the far side. You alternate games. It's best 3 games.
Let's play.
You must win 3 games out of 5. And you alternate going back and forth between tables. First we'll start on the Garlando, then Leonhardt, then Garlando, then Leonhardt. And the 5th game is divided up between both tables, and the team must win by 2 goals, and HUNDSTORFER gets his team on the board. It's now 2-1. Look at it once again. You'll see the speed here as he flips it over down the middle into the goal. It's 2-1. These guys are so quick. Tremendous hand speed, tremendous ball control. They make it look easy. Anyone who's ever played table soccer at the local pub or anywhere knows just how difficult it can be. And these guys have tremendous skills, which they've developed over a long period of time. And van de Carter banks it off that outside wall. It's 3-1. Looking at it again, watch Tom just gently hit it off that outside wall and into the goal. Anton SKOK not sure where that went. As we look at the Belgian team, sitting just behind the doubles team of Frédéric Collignon and Tom van de Carter. And here's Kevin HUNDSTORFER coming right back, setting it up in snake shot position, where he puts his wrist on the handle and flips it over to one side or the other, or down the middle in this case. It's 3-2. There are few forwards in the world who can compete with the great Collignon. This is one of them here. This is Kevin HUNDSTORFER, the rising star out of Austria. Remains 3-2 here in game number 1. This is the Austrian home table, the Garlando. Frédéric Collignon's going to use one of his 2 timeouts. Get 2 timeouts per game. The Austrian contingent backing their doubles team.
I like how
the winner of this match would advance to the finals.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Robert Atha and Joe Hamilton facing off now against Marcin Snopnowski
Time.
and Jacek Racier of Poland. The winner of that will face the winner of this for the title, and we'll have that for you a little later on. Ball put back into play and taken away by HUNDSTORFER. So important when competing in this style of format, the multi-table, to win the games on your home table. Ideally and generally, you're going to be best on that table. That's why you selected it. But there are a few players in the sport, Frédéric Collignon is one of them, who are good on every table. And that's what makes it so difficult to defeat guys like him, or the Americans Billy Pappas, or Ryan Moore, or the Englishman Robert Atha, who all excel on all the different tables. And they're very different. It takes tremendous skill to play the sport. It takes even more skill to be able to play the sport on so many different table styles. 3-2 lead for the Belgian team here in game number 1. Big crowd here in the arena in Nantes, France. Tom van de Cotter. Shot down the middle, blocked, comes back towards the goal. Ball rolls to a dead stop, so it'll be put back into play. And player must touch 2 player figures, 2 men, before putting it into play. And van de Cotter does just that. Tom will set it up, slice it to the short side into the goal. It's 4-2. Collignon and van de Cotter on the Garlando, which is the Austrian home table, have surged ahead 4-2. And you watch as van de Cotter just pulled it a little bit and sliced it up the table, going behind the defender. The Belgians leading 4-2. HUNDSTORFER. Looking to pass it. Blocked by Collignon. Kevin once again. And a chance to pull his team within 1 as he sets it up in snake shot position. You get a really good view of the snake shot here, and he finds the hole. Stroking that ball to the back of the goal. It's 4-3. Looking at it again, the speed is what really impresses you. And of course the precision as well. It's all about deciding where you want to shoot the ball, when you want to shoot the ball. You have 15 seconds possession time on that shooting rod, the 3 rod. It's now 4-3 in favor of the Belgians. And Collignon can't hold on to the pass. HUNDSTORFER has possession. And HUNDSTORFER is going to call timeout. And look across the table at Collignon. This is a fearless young man out of Austria.
Yeah, he milked it a little bit. I mean, he didn't get the reset that I think he was looking for. And then he moved it back and forth a couple more times. I thought, oh, he's getting close. 10 seconds.
Kevin HUNDSTORFER will have possession of the ball on his passing rod, the 5 rod, as he'll put it back into play. HUNDSTORFER calls time in. Kevin again will be looking to advance the ball, and he tries to go along that wall, couldn't hold on to the pass. Van de Cotter, who scored twice in this first game. And that's a huge bonus when you're talking about Frédéric Collignon, who is the greatest player of all time, the greatest offensive player. But to get 2 from goal, in addition, makes it awfully difficult on the opponent. And nice pickup here. Anton SKOK just trying to pass the ball to his partner, HUNDSTORFER, and HUNDSTORFER will set it up. Looking to tie it up. Shot attempt blocked by van de Cotter. Sent up the table, and here's van de Cotter again, and stolen away by HUNDSTORFER. Kevin sets it up, rocks back and forth, and fires it home. It's 4-4. HUNDSTORFER and SKOK trying to hold on here on their home table. Looking at it again. He took his time and then pounded the back of the goal to that far side. It's 4-4.
Play.
Collignon, pass attempt, he can't connect. Anton SKOK, the goalie, in possession of the ball, will use a second and final timeout. As we mentioned, it's vitally important when playing against Frederic Collignon to take advantage of opportunities when you have them. And right now, Kevin HUNDSTORFER and Anton SKOK have possession of the ball, tied up at 4 in the first game on their home table. If they score this point, they've got a chance at winning this match. If they don't, it's hard to see them winning.
Time.
Anton SKOK will put the ball back into play. Setting up near side, trying to send it up the table. It's retrieved by Van de Carter. Banked off that outside wall, and Collignon now in possession of the ball. Frederic Collignon with a chance now from his 3-rod to put away game number 1. He does have 1 timeout remaining. Setting it up near side of the goal. He has it in that pin shot, and he's going to use that second timeout.
Ten seconds.
Tom Van de Carter, who has scored 2 in this first game, hoping that Frederic Collignon can score the final point of this opening game. As he puts it back into play. Tied up at 4. Collignon looks for a first game win. Shooting against SKOK. Collignon. Chokes it home near side. There is no better clutch player in the world of table soccer than that man right there.
Ce sont donc les Belges qui viennent de remporter cette première manche.
He found that hole to that near side of the goal, and it's 1-0 in favor of the Belgians.
Watch the resetting a little bit, okay? I just told him to watch the resetting. It won't be the full time. Ten seconds. Okay, let's play.
So Frederic Collignon, Tom Van de Carter come out and win the opening game on the Austrian home table. We now move to the Leonhardt table, which is the home table of the Belgians, in a game that Kevin HUNDSTORFER and Anton SKOK must win. And they are pretty good on this table. In fact, quite good on this table. And there's HUNDSTORFER able to stroke it home to that far side. 1-0 lead as HUNDSTORFER waited, and then found that corner as Van de Carter brought that goalie man off that corner of the goal.
Let's play. Yeah.
Put back into play here by Collignon. Frederic Collignon has won every title there is to win several times. Numerous times on most occasions. And down the middle goes Van de Carter after that pin shot. It's 1-1. That was with HUNDSTORFER switching to the goalie position and SKOK it forward. Let's look at it again as Van de Carter off the pin and then just slammed it down the middle.
Let's play.
1-1 here in game number 2. Frederic Collignon and his partner Tom Van de Carter won the opening game. Nice pass there as it's scooped through the lane by Kevin HUNDSTORFER, who sets it up. Kevin 1-for-1 shooting the ball, make it 2-for-2. He's going to continue, or need to continue, to shoot the ball well. He's going to move back defensively here with Anton SKOK moving to forward. You can see he's working the inside of the goal, going down the middle here, which should open up the corners later on.
Let's play.
2-1 lead for HUNDSTORFER and SKOK. Anton SKOK going up defensively against Collignon, and he gets a piece of it, and then HUNDSTORFER saves it in the goal area. Kevin then turns it over, giving it right to Collignon. Fred sets it up. Takes his time, shooting against HUNDSTORFER. Collignon bring it across and tried to angle it with that far man. Rimmed off the corner. That's a beautiful shot if it goes in. Again, same shot, this one blocked. That's not easy to do. That's great defense by HUNDSTORFER. Beautiful play.
I don't know how you blocked that shot. He blocked it twice. 10 seconds.
Put back into play here by HUNDSTORFER, who fires that shot wide of the goal. Tom Vandecotter now in possession. It is 2-1 here in game number 2. And sent up the table nicely. Beautiful pass by Vandecotter, who has scored a couple and now has passed beautifully to his partner Collignon. That usually means good things for your team. When you get it into the hands of this great player, and there it is as he angled it into the goal. This is not an easy shot to execute, but when you're talking about this guy, and let's look at it again as he brings it over and then just angles it between the men. He makes it look so easy. 2-2 here in game 2. Best 3 out of 5 games, alternating back and forth between the different tables, with each team having a home table. Kevin HUNDSTORFER 2 for 2, now 3 for 3. So HUNDSTORFER and SKOK trying to come back and win on the opponent's home table. There you see it again, continuing to work the inside of the goal. Kevin really good at going to the corners, but right now he's establishing that he can go down the middle, which should open up the corners later on. Very, very well played match so far. And SKOK in the forward position made the block, but the backspin carries it to Collignon. Tough break there for SKOK, who made a good defensive play on the 5-row. And Collignon will step away and use a timeout. Teams get 2 timeouts per game. Collignon, Tom Vandecotter having a conversation with their coach, the rest of their Belgian teammates. Collignon returns to the table in the forward position with possession of the ball on his 3-rod. That's the 3-man rod right there, the shooting rod. Kevin HUNDSTORFER on the defensive. Collignon taking a look at that angle, then tried to come back to that near corner. Blocked and taken away by HUNDSTORFER, and you see Collignon disappointed. And sliced into the goal by Kevin. Great play by Kevin HUNDSTORFER. Made the solid block, then came back with a shot to the near corner. Let's look at it again. There it is, as he got the goalie to move out of the way and hit it behind him. HUNDSTORFER, great defensive play followed up by a great offensive play. The Austrians now up 4-2.
Let's go.
Collignon. To advance it 5-rod to 3-rod, and he does. Looking now to pull his team within 1 goal. Collignon takes it all the way out to the far side, just snapping off that pin shot effort. It's now 4-3. You'll see him sit dead still here and then just explode. Just so quick. Tough for Anton SKOK and Kevin HUNDSTORFER to stop that. HUNDSTORFER and SKOK lead 4-3 here on the opponent's home table. That one knocked away towards the goal by Collignon. It's back to SKOK, who sends it up the table. HUNDSTORFER can't hold on to his shooting rod. Collignon looking to pass. It's 4-2 just moments ago, and suddenly now Collignon has a chance to tie it up at 4. Collignon takes his time. He's looking at that far corner once again. It goes near side this time, wide of the goal. He is able to pick up the rebound. Now resets. And calls a second and final timeout. Frederic Collignon, Tom van de Carter leading 1-0. Down 4-3 here in the second game. Best 3 out of 5 semifinal match with the winner advancing
10 seconds
to the final. And Kevin HUNDSTORFER is going to switch into defensive position to try and stop Frederic Collignon. HUNDSTORFER, the power player on his team. Extremely talented Austrian player. And still very young. I'm thinking Kevin's probably 20. Collignon put it back into play. His shot attempt went wide of the goal. The rebound comes all the way back down the table to Tom van de Carter. His shot attempt. And Tom has scored, I believe, 3, possibly 4 so far in this match. Has played very well back there offensively. Another shot on goal. Blocked and retrieved beautifully by HUNDSTORFER, who scored the last time he had the ball in this position. And Kevin's going to go ahead and let Anton SKOK come back there to shoot it or clear it. And HUNDSTORFER will return to his familiar forward position. And actually, HUNDSTORFER is going to stay back there. He has that kind of confidence in his shooting ability. He just wanted to take the timeout, gather his thoughts, and he now puts it back into play. HUNDSTORFER down the middle with a shot attempt blocked by Collignon. Comes back to Kevin. Kevin HUNDSTORFER. Clock is running. You get 15 seconds of time, and it's taken away by Collignon. Another chance here for Fred to tie it up at 4. Frederic Collignon finds the hole to the near side. It's 4-4, and HUNDSTORFER will return to the forward position. Looking at it again, he can go far side, he can go down the middle, or he can go near side right here. With so many options, he's so difficult to stop. You never know where he's going to go or when he's going to go there. This ball, it is imperative that HUNDSTORFER and SKOK score this goal. And Kevin's going to have the chance to do so right here. He's 3 for 3 shooting the ball in the forward area. Also has 1 from goal. But can he put this one away as he walks it around, looking for the hole? HUNDSTORFER finds it down the middle. Huge shot by Kevin HUNDSTORFER in a game that they had to win. Kevin HUNDSTORFER, I believe, was 4 for 4 shooting the ball from forward while also contributing 1 from goal. Great performance by the young Austrian, and we're all tied up at 1 game apiece. Been a very, very well played match so far, and we're talking about 2 of the great teams in the world of international table soccer. Frederic Collignon and Tom van de Carter of Belgium, and Kevin HUNDSTORFER, who played almost a perfect game in that second game on his opponent's home table, the Leonhardt. So each team has won a game on the opponent's table. There you see timer Dan Barber using his iPad and using his iRefFoo's application to time, keep track of the score, keep track of timeouts. Yep. And Anton SKOK's going to start in the forward position here defensively on the 5 row against Collignon. Pass attempt's blocked by SKOK. Here's van de Carter setting it up the table, and here's HUNDSTORFER, the star of that second game. And remember, we're back on the Austrians' home table, the Garlando. Although they sure looked at home over on the Leonhardt. Frederic Collignon generally looks at home on the Garlando as well. So when you get to this level, when you're talking about these kind of players, the difference between the 2 tables is almost negligible. All of these players are very good on every table. That's a great grab by Collignon. Looking for point number 1 of game number 3, but HUNDSTORFER there to take it away. Kevin HUNDSTORFER shot attempt blocked by Collignon. And beautiful shot by HUNDSTORFER, a hesitation pull kick where he brought it from that far man over to the near man and slammed it into the goal. That's a brilliant play, and Kevin HUNDSTORFER has been spectacular so far. Watch this as he hesitates, then brings it across down the middle. Great play by HUNDSTORFER. It's 1-0 in favor of the Austrians.
Let's play. Yeah.
Frederic Collignon and Anton SKOK, despite the greatness of Collignon, he and his partner, and I have said SKOK, I meant Van de Carter, trying to win the doubles title, with Frederic Collignon not having won a doubles title since 2007 at the ITSF Multi-Table World Championships. He's won several world titles in doubles and singles since then, and he's won several titles in singles here. But doubles has eluded him, and he's trying to do it again here. Last year he lost to the eventual champions, Tom Yore and Brandon Moreland. Of America, Dave Gummison and Tracy McMillan won the previous year from the USA. And Collignon unable to win in either of those years, hoping to come back and do it this year. Right now, though, it's 1-1 in games and 1-1 in score here in the third game. That one knocked towards the goal. Van der Carter picks it up. Tom sends it along the inner wall, banks off that back wall. SKOK couldn't keep it in his goal area. And it's picked up by Collignon. Frederic Collignon will use an early game timeout.
Yeah. Ten seconds.
Go. Ready?
Frederic Collignon has possession of the ball on his 3-rod and will put it back into play. (1-1) here in game number 3 on the Garlando table, the Austrian home table. Try to go far side, knocked down, stabbed towards the goal by HUNDSTORFER. Picked up by Van de Carter. Van de Carter to that short side, wide of the goal. SKOK able to pick it up. Belgium versus Austria. And a timeout.
Play the ball down. I want to make a push shot, and you always make, and I cannot pull back. So always when I play the ball, it comes jump.
Frederic Collignon and Tom Van de Carter won the first game on the Garlando table. Kevin HUNDSTORFER and Anton SKOK came back to win game number 2 on the Leonhardt. And here we are back on Garlando in this very closely contested match being watched by a very large crowd here in the finals area, the arena in Nantes, France.
Yeah.
Anton SKOK putting the ball back into play. And he's able to advance it to his partner HUNDSTORFER. Kevin, who's been so good so far. Pass attempt blocked by Collignon. Great to see the battle between these two great forwards. That shot wide of the goal. Comes back to Anton. He sends it down the middle where it's rebounded by HUNDSTORFER. And Kevin has not missed very often lately. Don't believe he missed a shot on the Leonhardt. Let's see what he does here on the Garlando as he walks it around. Try to go back to that far side. Van de Carter made the block, but the topspin carried it into the goal. It's now 2-1. And HUNDSTORFER looks like he's going to go back to forward. And we look at it again. Van de Carter put a man on it, but the spin just carried it in. Kind of a masse shot as that one carried in behind the defender. It's now 2-1 in favor of the Austrians. Collignon coming along that inner wall. And it's HUNDSTORFER back there defensively. It's been great offensively. Can he maintain that particular thing on the offense or the defensive end? And he does so here. Collignon's pass attempt stolen away by SKOK, who will call timeout and bring HUNDSTORFER back to the forward position. Oh, Kevin HUNDSTORFER has Frederic Collignon thinking just a little bit. Of course, we remember a match at the Garlando Worlds a few years ago where that young man right there, I believe he was probably 17 years old at the time, might have been 16, defeated the great Collignon to advance to the finals in a semifinal match. So he knows he can do it. but can he do it today? We'll see. HUNDSTORFER back into his familiar forward position. Pass attempt blocked back towards the goal. Anton SKOK keeps it out of the goal, and he has possession. The idea here just to get that ball up into that forward position if you're Anton SKOK. Get it into the forward zone. Shot down the middle by Van de Cotter. Blocked by SKOK. SKOK sends it up the table and off the table. The ball will be put back into play. The ball will be put back into play by Van de Cotter. That one knocked in inadvertently.
Yeah.
Remains 2-1. Sent up the table, retrieved by Anton SKOK. And SKOK turns it over to Collignon. Collignon looking to tie it up at 2. Strikes that hole down the middle. He faked to a corner and then came back down that middle part of the goal. We're tied up at 2. Let's look at his hand here. As you can see, as he works it around and then simply comes to that near side.
Play. Okay, ready.
2-2 here in game number 3, all tied up at a game apiece. Very closely contested match, but SKOK's shot attempt blocked back into the goal. It's now 3-2 in favor of the Belgians. So important to clear the zone. You see there that he tried to do so and had it blocked.
Play. Okay, ready.
HUNDSTORFER really could use this one. And the pass attempt stolen away by Collignon. Frederic Collignon dancing with the ball, then can't hold on to the pass. Shot down the middle by SKOK, ends up on the 3-rod of HUNDSTORFER. Big shot here for Kevin. Kevin HUNDSTORFER of Austria. Chokes it home to the near side. It's 3-3. Again, HUNDSTORFER with authority to that near corner. 3-3 here in game 3. You don't see Frederic Collignon tested too often, but he is certainly being tested in this match so far. Pass attempt blocked by SKOK, who has moved into that forward position. And oftentimes when you bring a different player up there defensively, you give the opponent a different look. And SKOK able to pick it up here on the 5-rod. Pass along the near wall comes back to Kevin. SKOK and HUNDSTORFER have used both of their timeouts, and that shot attempt off a man into the goal. Van de Cotter, who has scored at least 4 in this match. Looking at it again, off a man. And look at Kevin's reaction there. Kevin HUNDSTORFER, though, has an opportunity here as he moves back to the forward position to make up for it by scoring this ball. Beautiful pass through the lane by Kevin. Another big shot here. Kevin HUNDSTORFER finds the hole down the middle. It's 4-4, and what a match we've got going on here in the finals area at the ITSF Table Soccer World Championships. You see Kevin tapped at the ball, causing the goalie to move to the corners, and he found that hole down the middle.
Yeah.
4-4 with Collignon having possession on his passing rod. But he does have a timeout remaining, and he's going to go ahead and use it right here. Tom Van de Cotter, who has not defended all that well over the last couple of games. Kevin HUNDSTORFER has scored very well. But Van de Cotter has scored pretty well himself from goal.
10 seconds.
A nervous Belgian team, not used to seeing their man Collignon against the ropes. And
Time.
Kevin HUNDSTORFER is going to open up in the goalie position here.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because they don't have a timeout remaining, so he's stuck back there for the remainder of this game. Pass through the lane by Collignon. I don't have to question that strategy, but if he blocks it and scores it from goalie, then perhaps not. Frederic Collignon for a third game win. Taking his time, shooting against Kevin HUNDSTORFER. Collignon tried to flip it over down the middle, knocked down and grabbed by Anton SKOK. SKOK's got a chance to win the game right here. HUNDSTORFER cannot switch to the forward position, and that shot rimmed off the corner. So you can't question the strategy because HUNDSTORFER did block Collignon. But then Anton SKOK, who isn't a bad shooter, but certainly not in the class of HUNDSTORFER, was forced to take that shot. And he wasn't able to score it, and now Collignon coming back with his second opportunity to win this third game. Again, HUNDSTORFER on the defensive as Collignon looks him over, trying to find the hole, and he does. It's 2-1. Looking at it again, he really took his time, waited him out, and you look at the defense there. It appeared that HUNDSTORFER was all over it, but somehow the ball found the hole. Great defense again by HUNDSTORFER, but Collignon and Van de Carter now leading 2-1.
2-1 en faveur des Belges face aux Autrichiens SKOK et HUNDSTORFER. Allez, supporters, on frappe dans les mains, on les encourage un petit peu, tous ensemble.
So now Kevin HUNDSTORFER and Anton SKOK must win this game to stay alive in the competition. And they're on the opponent's home table, although they did win the last time they played on this table. In fact, each game so far in this match has been won on the opponent's home table. Kevin HUNDSTORFER will start off with the ball on his 5-rod. And here we go. Kevin HUNDSTORFER shot the ball very well on this table in the previous game, the one that they did win. But can he get enough possessions? And Collignon able to grab it and steal it and quickly try to pass it, taken right back by HUNDSTORFER. Kevin's pass attempt, another stolen by Collignon. What a great defensive series on the 5-row. Collignon will set it up, will walk it across the mouth of the goal. Sitting still dead center. And finds the hole. It's 1-0. Very well played semifinal match. You see, Collignon just kind of flicks this one in between the men. Oh, HUNDSTORFER, again, he's got to get possessions on the 3-rod, and he gets one here. Every shot so important. And he finds the hole down the middle, continuing to work the inside of the goal. When you play against Kevin HUNDSTORFER or the great snake shot shooters, you expect to have to hit guard against the corners. And Kevin finds that hole down the middle.
Let's play.
And that pass attempt blocked by Anton SKOK, who's back in that forward position. HUNDSTORFER is at goal. SKOK almost able to steal this one. Van de Carter gets it back, sets it up, tries to pass it along the outside wall, does end up in the hands of his partner Collignon. Fred's pass blocked by SKOK. 1-1 here in game number 4. It's 2-1 in favor of the Belgians, but each game has been so close. Nice pickup by Collignon. Fred looks for the lead. And again, beautiful shot by Frederic Collignon. Collignon brought it to the near side, and then again, just that simple angle. You're looking for him to explode to a corner with a fast, hard shot, and he gives you that. Tough to stop. And HUNDSTORFER able to grab it along the wall. Every shot so important at this point for the Austrians. HUNDSTORFER finally misses a shot. It had been a while on this table. I'm not sure he had missed a shot up till then. And he gets it back and resets it. HUNDSTORFER strokes it to that far side. Again, I believe he went inside that far defender. Comes, fakes, and then does split the two men. And he's tied it up at 2. Been a great performance by Kevin HUNDSTORFER. Zoom Productions bringing you the 2012 ITSF Table Soccer World Championships from Nantes, France. I'm Jim Stevens. Happy to be here to bring you all the excitement of the world's most prestigious table soccer event. For the lead, COLLIGNON will step away and use his first timeout. Frederic Collignon and Tom van de Carter won the first game on Garlando. Those two gentlemen there, Kevin HUNDSTORFER and Anton SKOK of Austria, won game number 2 on the Leonhardt. Collignon and van de Carter won a very close game in game 3 to take a 2-1 lead. Here we are in game 4, tied up at 2. But Collignon has an opportunity to give his team the lead. Collignon calls time in and puts it back into play. He'll be shooting against Kevin HUNDSTORFER. Kevin's been effective defensively. Collignon tried to come near side. That went in wide of the goal, then right back into their own goal. The Austrians surge ahead 3-2, and you can see Frederic Collignon does not like to mis-execute a shot, and he does so here. He brings it near side wide of the goal, then right back into their own goal. The Austrians up 3-2. SKOK it forward, HUNDSTORFER at goal, and Kevin will be blocking against Collignon again. See the focus and the intensity on the face of the great Belgian Frederic Collignon. Dancing across the mouth of the goal. Collignon strokes it to the far side. It's 3-3. Again, Collignon fakes one way and goes the other, and has tied the score up at 3. And this has really been a good match. Let's see what Kevin HUNDSTORFER can do. Kevin looking to pass it, but he'll quickly call a timeout. Was afraid that the time constraints would prohibit him from doing something that he wanted to do, so he went ahead and used that timeout, and that was a wise decision.
It's one timeout apiece.
3-3. Fourth game, 2-1 lead for Collignon and van de Carter, as Kevin HUNDSTORFER will put it back into play. HUNDSTORFER tried to brush that pass up, stolen away by Collignon. Frederic Collignon walking it around. And stroking it to the near side. It's match point for Collignon and van de Carter. Must shot here for Kevin HUNDSTORFER and Anton SKOK, as well as they have played, and they've played very well. They still find themselves behind 4-3 here in the fourth game, down 2-1, and that's a testament to just how great this man and this team are. Frederic Collignon looking to advance to the final. And they do. In 4 tough games, Frederic Collignon, Tom van de Carter defeat Kevin HUNDSTORFER and Anton SKOK to advance to the men's doubles final here at the ITSF Table Soccer World Championships.
Tom van CAUTER et Frédéric Collignon face aux Autrichiens qu'on peut applaudir, Anton SKOK et Kevin HUNDSTORFER. Supporters, je vous demande d'applaudir ces deux équipes, s'il vous plaît, qui nous ont livré une très très belle demi-finale. Restez avec nous dans quelques minutes, la grande finale. La grande finale masculine en double qui débutera donc d'ici quelques minutes. Nous vous rappelons que la finale sera retransmise sur Eurosport 2 en live, également sur les écrans. Félicitations donc aux Belges Tom van CAUTER et Frédéric Collignon.
Congratulations to Frédéric Collignon and Tom van CAUTER. In a few minutes we will have the final. Final in a few minutes.